Have you ever booked an Airbnb and felt like something was off? Maybe a shadow moving where no one should be, a whisper in the dead of night. Tonight, we're diving into 3 terrifying real-life horror stories that happened to unsuspecting guests. So, turn off the lights, get comfortable, and prepare yourself for some bone-chilling tales of Airbnb stays gone horribly wrong. Emma and her boyfriend Jake booked a cozy cabin in the woods for a weekend getaway. The listing had great reviews, secluded, peaceful, and the perfect escape from city life. When they arrived, the place was beautiful. The host had even left a welcome note and some snacks on the table. Everything seemed perfect. Until night fell. Emma woke up around 2 a.m. feeling uneasy. The room was silent except for the occasional rustling of leaves outside. She turned over and gasped. Across from the bed was a full-length mirror, something she hadn't noticed before. But that wasn't what startled her. In the mirror, she saw a man standing in the corner of the room. Heart pounding, she turned around. Nothing was there. She stared back at the mirror. The man was still there, motionless, watching. His face was featureless, like a dark silhouette. She shook Jake awake, whispering frantically. He groggily looked at the mirror but saw nothing. "Go back to sleep, Em," he muttered. Unable to shake the feeling, Emma threw a blanket over the mirror and tried to sleep. The next morning, she pulled the blanket away and screamed. The mirror had a handprint on it, but not just any handprint. It was smudged, as if someone had been pressing their fingers against it from the inside. They packed up and left that morning, but when she later looked up reviews for the listing again, she found something chilling, an old comment from a past guest. "Loved the cabin, but just a heads up. If you see a man in the mirror, don't look too long." Lucas, a solo traveler, had just checked into an old Victorian house, Airbnb, in a small town. The host, an elderly woman named Margaret, was sweet but oddly insistent. "Do not, under any circumstances, go into the basement." Lucas laughed it off. Who would want to go into a creepy basement anyway? That night, as he was settling in, he heard a thumping noise. It was rhythmic, like footsteps, but below him. Curiosity got the best of him. He tiptoed down the hallway past the kitchen until he found the basement door. It was locked. He pressed his ear against it. Nothing. Maybe he imagined it? As he turned to leave, the thumping started again, louder this time. Then, whispering. His blood turned to ice. The next morning, he asked Margaret about the noise. Her smile faltered just for a second. "Oh, the pipes make sounds at night, dear. Nothing to worry about." That night, the noises got worse. Not just thumping now, scraping, like fingernails dragging against the wood. Lucas couldn't sleep. He decided to leave early in the morning. But as he was packing up, his phone flashlight caught something. Near the floor, behind the dresser, was a tiny door. He hadn't noticed it before. His breath caught in his throat. The door was unlocked. Slowly, he pulled it open, revealing a small, dark passage leading down. The smell of damp earth and something rotten hit him instantly. Then he saw them, pairs of wide, glowing eyes, staring back at him from the darkness. He slammed the door shut and ran. When he finally made it outside, the house was silent again. The only thing he heard was Margaret's voice from the window, softly saying, "I told you not to go down there." Karen was on a business trip and needed a last-minute place to stay. She found a stylish downtown apartment with great reviews and booked it. The host was polite and even left a note. "Enjoy your stay. Don't mind the other guest." She assumed it was a joke. The first night was uneventful, but the second night, strange things started happening. The shower turned on by itself. The TV flickered, changing channels randomly. And at one point, while brushing her teeth, she saw a figure in the reflection of the bathroom mirror. A woman standing just behind her, smiling. She spun around. Nothing. Shaken, she texted the host. "Hey, is there any chance this apartment is haunted?" The response came almost immediately. "Don't worry, she's harmless, just don't acknowledge her." Her stomach dropped. That night, Karen lay in bed, eyes wide open. Every little sound made her jump. Then, around 3 a.m., she felt the mattress shift, like someone had just sat down at the edge of the bed. She didn't move, didn't breathe. Then, a whisper. "Why won't you talk to me?" Karen bolted out of bed, grabbed her bags, and ran out of the apartment. She never even asked for a refund. Weeks later, curiosity got the better of her. She looked up the building's history and found out that years ago, a woman had died in that very apartment. The cause? Unknown. But multiple guests had reported seeing her and hearing her. And there you have it. 3 terrifying Airbnb horror stories that will make you think twice before booking your next stay. Was it all imagination? Or are some places truly haunted? If you enjoyed these stories, make sure to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments. Have you ever had a creepy experience in an Airbnb? We'd love to hear your story, if you dare. Sleep tight. And remember, some guests never leave.